Hello everyone. So I'm here today to do my Thursday update. I'm actually just was sitting here opening this order I got from Amazon, and I remembered what day it was. So I was like, oh my god, I need to record, especially since I actually have updates this week, and exciting ones at that. Very exciting ones, two of which that are doll related. And just in case you were wondering, this is what I got in my Amazon package. If you can tell, there we go, it's focusing. It's Kingdom Hearts. What is it? Oh jeez, it's so much. It's like 6 games on this friggin' thing. And it's not even all of the Kingdom Hearts games. I have to get one more with, I think, Dream Drop Distance on it. Like, it's like Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Dream Drop Distance or something like that. But I realized that like Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in January, so it's kind of like, for me, since I play video games so slow, it's crunch time to play all of these games before 3 comes out. Because I've only played, and this is terrible, I've only played the first one all the way through. The second one, okay, I do this thing, and I'm going to, with this playthrough of this, and any other video game I pick up for a bit, I'm going to stop doing what I have been doing. And what I do is I get overly intimidated by the video game before playing it. So how does that happen? It happens one of two ways. With Kingdom Hearts 2, how that happened was I actually had the guide for it, and I was just looking through the guide because I was curious, and I saw that you had to fight Sephiroth again to get a certain armor. I don't know which armor at this point because it's been a minute since I looked at it, like years. And when I saw that and saw online how difficult the fight was, I stopped wanting to play the game. I got too intimidated, and I know how I am. I'd want that armor, and I just didn't want to deal with being stressed out about getting it. And I know that sounds really silly, but that's what anxiety does to you over, like it sounds like, saying it out loud especially, it sounds like one of the silliest things in the world. But I was just too anxious to fight and too anxious not to get that armor, so I just stopped playing it. And I watched some my friends play it for a little bit, and then I was like, oh no, I want to play it myself. But I haven't, and all this time I have not played it. So I decided, since I have to play all these other games to get the, I guess, full story, I decided to go ahead and get this with almost all the games on it except for Dream Drop Distance, and start anew and not look at a guide. I'm not going to look at any guides unless I'm super duper stuck. And if that means missing things, it means missing things. I know for a fact, though, like in the first game, especially, you probably can do this in the second one too. You can go back at any time. There's a final save point, and at that save point, you can go back to get like puppies and get your keyblades and get this and that. So if 2 is like that, then I will go through the game. I will win the game. And if there's anything that I want to get or I'm missing, I will go back and try and find it, either, just me or through a guide. But I'm not going to use a guide. In the other way, I don't know why I'm going on about this, but why not? Is that I will watch part of a playthrough, and I'll see that like there's a stealth portion of the game, and I'm really bad at stealth. Because again, anxiety. I get too nervous to do it. So I get too intimidated to play the whole game. And I just don't feel like being that way anymore. I just want to do the thing. I'm tired of things stopping me from, I'm tired of my anxiety stopping me from doing things I really, really like. Especially since I had so much fun playing the first Kingdom Hearts. I just feel really frustrated. I gave up like the whole franchise pretty much because of one armor set. Like, how does that sound? That sounds, I don't like how that sounds. So yay, I got that. I'll probably start that this weekend. We'll see. But anyway, I didn't even mean to talk about that, but there it is. I have it. The exciting news I have like 3 items of excitement. The first one is that I had like a kind of breakthrough in my writing and kind of an idea of what I want to do and where I want to go with my story. And I'm very excited. I even made up a new character. His name is Michigan. He is Seiji's partner, and his real name isn't Michigan. His real name is Brian. That's his nickname. And so far he seems like a really nice guy, but I don't know if he is a nice guy. And I'm going to try and work that out, because I think I have thought of this story in 3 books, one for each of the main characters, except the mistress's story is not going to be connected at all to Benny and Seiji's story, if you know what I mean. Like, if I do a book for the mistress, it will be just like a separate thing, like either of her before the events in Benny and Seiji's story, or after dealing with the aftermath. But it's not going to be exactly tied in. So the mistress, her book will kind of be like a standalone separate book that's adjacent. But I do think I have thought of a book for Benny and a book for Seiji, and I think I do need to tell it this way, because I do want to do 2 whole character arcs. But I want to put in some plot. I want to make some time for romance and to tie up all the threads I am finding. And I don't want to have to rush that, because I don't want it to be unsatisfying, to both me and the readers. So I'm going to be looking more into that. And the part of the writing I did was regarding Seiji and Michigan's past. And apparently they were lovers in the past. It was brief, and it was an affair on Michigan's part because he is married. And I get to deal with that, because how I've always seen Seiji is that he's just an overly moral person. But knowing that that Michigan has a wife and a kid, he still had the affair anyway, and he would still be participating in that affair if it weren't for the fact that Michigan cut it off. So it wasn't Seiji who did it, who was, trying to take the moral high ground at every turn. It was not Seiji, it was Michigan. So I need to follow that thread, see where that goes, and that's one of the threads that I need to tie up. The one I found that I need to tie up. So I don't know. I'm just very, very excited. And during my word sprint time tonight, because I saw the announcement that they are doing that tonight at 8:30, I'm going to actually edit the writing I did yesterday, and then hopefully add some more to it, or maybe like explore Michigan's character more and see what kind of person he is. Is he a good person? Is he a bad person? Because depending on how he is, that's important for the end of Benny's book into Seiji's book. So we'll see how that goes. And then the next is all doll news. I actually have doll news. One of which, I keep forgetting about, because it's so... It was unexpected. I didn't know it was going to happen. In fact, I haven't even put the update on Instagram because I keep forgetting to do so. But if you have been paying attention, following along, I was talking about the dolls from Doll Zone, one of which I wanted to look into buying in the brown resin that they were talking about offering for these dolls. Well, I had been checking every day to see if they were on sale or not. And the one day that I am busy, I did not go past their Instagram. And because of Instagram's stupid algorithm that's driving me nuts, I did not see the post that she was up for sale until 11 hours after the post was put up. And unfortunately for the doll I wanted, there was only going to be, there's actually two dolls available, and they do, I don't know if their face is 100% different, because I tried to compare them and they kind of look similar. It's mostly the horns that look different, because they both come with horns and wings and hooves. They're so pretty. But because of the resin color, that color was limited to 30 dolls worldwide. So as soon as I saw the post, I went past BJ Divas, because I didn't know what to do. I wasn't expecting them to be up for sale yet, and because of that, I had not prepared. So I was like, I need to go to the place that will give me the longest, like the ridiculously longest layaway I can get away with, so I can at least put money down on her and then like think of what to do later, because I am a responsible adult. But I put in the order, and I was like, okay, well, she was still on the site, so she's still available. And it turns out I was hella wrong. And it's probably because they didn't think they would get that many orders, or not everyone is on top of their site like 100%. I don't even know what time zone they're in, so it was still up. But it turned out the brown tan was, I guess that's what I'm calling it. I don't know what the actual official name of the color is. But it turns out it was not available when I put in my order. So they were very, very kind and very sweet and very apologetic. And I was like, that is okay. That's okay. And I was going to put in an order for the Soul Doll girls, which I may try to still make that happen. Not both of them, but at least the Little, or however it's pronounced. I may try for just her, maybe, if I can swing it. I probably won't be able to, but like, cross your fingers maybe. But like, I was just resigned. I was like, okay, this wasn't meant to happen then. So, I was going to Monday go ahead and put in the order for the Soul Doll girls, because I was feeling very, very disappointed and upset. So I didn't put the order right away. I believe the Dolls No Girl was released Friday, and I heard back on Saturday, I think. I can't remember. But when I heard back, I was like, I don't feel in the mood to try and order the Soul Doll girls. I don't feel like it. I need a minute to process. So, but thankfully, I gave myself that moment to process, because I got an email on Sunday afternoon stating that Doll Zone, after thinking about it for a couple of days, decided to release a couple more dolls to be cast in the brown. So they did not put her back up on the site. They just offered her to people who had bought her and missed out. And I was one of them. And I was like, yeah, if Doll Zone will let me, I'll take her. And it turns out that yes, they will allow me to do it. And I have put down my first payment, and I'm going to get my girl. And it hasn't fully sunk in yet, and it may not even sink in until she gets here. Because like, it feels almost surreal how the events lined up. And I was like, okay, maybe I was meant to have her, and that's why, even though I saw her super late, I was able to get her. But I don't know. I don't honestly know. But I do know that I was not expecting the wings and hooves. So like, I feel like I kind of want to make her a sort of demon. But like, I was like, but which storyline would she be with? And then like, I think Annie, my soon Dia boy, has claimed her like as one of his minions or something. I don't know what, but like, he completely claimed her. I was like, well, geez, oh, okay. So we'll see how she works out when she gets here. And that is that. She is on a ridiculously long layaway though, because of her price, and because I wanted to make sure I had anything available to put down for her. She's currently on a year layaway through BJD, but she is not going to stay on layaway for a year. That's just, how I signed up to make sure that I could get her. Technically, I will have some spare money coming up in the next couple months, and especially in January and February. So there's a chance that she'll be paid off like sooner rather than later. But also it's Doll Zone, so like there's no real rush with Doll Zone. They're not Dolce levels, but they take their time, which I'm thankful for, but they take their time. So that is exciting. But a last piece of exciting news, and one that like I'm still not over, and every time I look at her, I'm so enamored, you guys. So like this past weekend, like today, it got to be hot again, and unfortunately a little humid, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I can't believe it. But whatever, it's I guess fall will be coming soon, but this past weekend it was fall-esque, and I was like, the time is now. You take advantage of this weather and you finish Elia's face up. You finish her face up right now. And I wasn't sure I was going to do it because I felt like kind of crappy on Saturday. I've been feeling crappy for a while. I've been feeling very like self-conscious and weird and like all in my head. So I wasn't sure I was going to do it, but then I paused the TV because I was just sitting there watching nothing, because I was just bleh, and I was like, get up, do it, because who knows what the weather is going to be like next weekend, the next couple weekends, because it's been so up and down. So I did it. I sat down and I finished her face up. I finished it all on Saturday and put her back together Sunday, and I just am in love with her. So I'm going to show her to you as best I can based on where the camera is. Maybe if I put her on her knees. Yeah. I just changed her clothes back into this skeleton shirt because, we're getting too close to fall, So let's see. Ta-da! Yay, it focused! So there she is. And I think she looks so pretty. And I don't know, I know I'm just tooting my own horn, and I know like there's prettier dolls out there and people with better techniques than me, but I don't know. I think it's because like she's such a pretty doll to begin with that like I didn't really have a chance of messing her up, but I think my technique worked out for her, and I really love it. And she's wearing eyes from Lemon Jelly eyes, and they have like, and I've described them before, but I think you can see them a little better now that there's a moon and star in them, and they're like pink and blue. They're actually in the shape of bunnies, but you can't see the top because if I position them so you can see the top, it kind of looked really, really weird to me. But we'll see. I might go back and forth with that. But yeah, she has blue eyeshadow stuff going on. I don't know. And she has a little bit of sparkle on her eyelashes that I got on there by accident, but then I just went with it. And I love her eyebrows. I made them super thick because I wanted to. I just imagine her with thick eyebrows. And she has a heart on her cheek here. It's very subtle because I didn't want it to be like in your face. The heart is kind of a throwback to one of her old face-ups that I actually really, really loved. But I got rid of it because I was like, that's not Elia's character, blah, 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 like I knew anything at that time. And then she has nose piercing. I was going to put a different one, but I couldn't get it to work. And then I was like, let me try this. And I really liked how it turns out. Who knows, she may have more in the future, but for right now, this is what she has. And then she also has freckles, but I don't know if you can tell. They're like blue and white and black because she draws them on herself. She does not naturally have freckles, and I didn't want them to look like she did. I wanted to look like she's doing like the makeup trend of drawing them on, and now it doesn't want to focus anymore. Maybe if I put my hand back up here. There we go. So that's how I wanted it to look. And I don't know. I think it really works. And I think it really works with her hair and with her style. And I'm just very, very, very... Oops, I moved the camera. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very, very happy with her. I love her so much. Like, I picked her up to change her clothes and to change her hands. I put the... let's see if I can do it. The Miu hands on her, so she's like point, and then with the other hand, she's wanting to slap people. If I can put that up, slap. So when I was like picking her up to change her clothes and put on new hands and whatnot, I just was like, "You are so pretty," and that made me so happy because like I usually don't pick up my dolls and think that all the time. Like, you know, when I pick up my soon deal boy, I'm like, oh, you're so handsome, because he is. But like, I don't think that with every doll. I don't pick them up and go, oh, you're pretty, you're gorgeous, you're this, you're that, or anything, because I usually don't feel it, and I always like am down on myself and see all the flaws versus anything else. But I really think she looks pretty, and I don't know, it's okay if like no one else does, but I don't know. I really just love her, and I'm glad I finished her. The only thing is that her face up came up exactly how I pictured it in my head, but it's far different in a lot of aspects to how I have seen her in my head. So now I kind of have to rediscover her in a way, but this feels like her. This feels the most her out of all the face-ups I've done, and which is weird to say because I thought I had nailed it on her former shell when I did kind of a neutral face-up. I thought I had nailed it. Like, she only had like browns on her face, and I don't even think she had much red. I think she only had like red in the corner of her eyes. Like, I went very, very, very neutral, and she wasn't really wearing makeup, like not in an obvious sense. Like if it was it'd be like a natural makeup look if it was a tutorial. And this of course is the opposite, but it's more like what I wanted to do when I did like I did something similar to this on her former shell. But like when I did it, I hated it like right away. And I think it's because I half-assed it. I feel like if I had went as bold as this with her former shell, I would have liked her former shell more. And some days I actually miss her, but not in compared to her, if you know what I mean. Like, I wish I still had the doll around. Maybe she'd be someone else. But I almost wish I had been able to do something like this on her former shell and lived with it for a bit, versus kind of doing something like this and then giving up and then going with like a more neutral thing. And I thought that was the character, but part of me feels like it's because it was easier and I didn't know what to do. So I don't know. Who knows what I was thinking at the time, because at the time it felt right. So I can't go in depth about what I was thinking or not thinking, because I thought it was the way to go at the time. That I remember. So yeah, so she actually, out of all the news, even getting the doll, she really excites me the most. Probably because the new doll thing hasn't sunk in quite yet, but also because like I'm so happy to have her finished for now. She needs more clothes because she's always going to need more clothes, and she needs headphones, and I don't know how to make that happen. I have the cat ones that they made for My Life dolls, I think, from Walmart. I have that, and I'm thinking of trying to figure out a way to make those fit her, even if that means like cutting down because like her head's not as big as the My Life dolls. The My Life dolls, they're not, they're Blythe-esque size. I'm not sure exactly, but those headphones are definitely too big for her head. But I feel like I can like shave down the sides or do something. I'll figure it out. So that's all she's like super missing, but I want to get her more clothes because I love dressing her and playing with her and taking pictures of her now, and I'm so happy. So yeah, that's all I can think of. I was going to do like a whole rant video like on Tuesday about like the state of the hobby and whatnot. But there has been a lot of stuff going on, mostly on Instagram. But then I realized that like I kind of don't feel like talking about that this week because I'm not having the best week. And I kind of just want to like enjoy what I'm feeling right now about her and dolls in general. Like I feel really great about my collection, about this girl here, and I kind of want to keep that up for a bit and go from there, you know. If I'm still feeling ranty and wanting to put my piece out there about, you know, how I feel about the hobby in general, maybe I'll do that later if I'm still feeling that way. But if not, like all things in this hobby, it'll pass, I'm sure, and hopefully, you know, everyone can start to feeling better and getting back to being happy for themselves again, because there's just been a lot of unhappiness around recently, and it's been part of the rant video, the reason why I want to do it is because I'm just upset on other people's behalf. But it feels cheap to do that when I don't feel myself unhappy in the hobby right this moment. It feels like I know like defending people, that is, you know, something we should do, but I feel like for this I don't know enough of what I'm talking about, because like I'm defending people without knowing the whole story, or because like I'm just going based off like the aftermath of something that happened. I don't feel like going on a rant video about that because I don't know what's happening. I just know people are upset and I don't like it. So I hope that makes sense, and I'm going to leave that off here. And I keep moving the camera because I keep moving my mouse pad. I am sorry. But whatever. She's in the camera now, so you can focus on her. I'll let you go now because, like, as always, this is a long video. But I would like to thank everyone for watching, and of course please go past my Instagram. The name has changed, so I'll leave the new name down in the description, but please feel free to go by if you want to see like pictures of her. I'm going to be taking a couple more pictures of her now, and I have one up that I initially did of her face up. And yeah, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of me. Yeah, I can say it. Is that okay to say? That's okay to say. So thank you so much, everyone. You know, be kind to each other, and I'll talk to you, if not later this week, because probably not, I'll talk to you next Thursday. Bye.